Welcome, guys. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. It's Hemp Tours Live here on location at Joy Organics. We've got Danielle with us, and we have some other incredible guests that I think you'll really enjoy talking with today. We're talking about hemp around the country. What's the scene like here in Texas, and then in all these other amazing places where hemp is being grown for the first time, being retailed for the first time. Just exciting things in the works. So I want to get started with Danielle. Danielle, tell us a little bit about what got you into this industry and what you guys do here at Joy Organics.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Leah. Thanks for having me, guys. Can you hear me okay do I need to hold it up like you, or are we good?
I think we're good.
We good? Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay. I'll try to project my voice. So like Leah said, my name is Danielle. I own the store here in Austin, Texas called Joy Organics. We really specialize in selling organic CBD products, but then we also like to empower women in the community. And so we also carry some other boutique items from local artisans, all female based. And as far as what brought me into the industry was my own health journey. I have anemia, I have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. And so there was a time where I wasn't really able to function very well through my own kind of chronic illness. And so I found CBD, and it was one of the main plant supplements that I take that I feel like I got relief from. And so that's initially what brought me into the industry. And I really just wanted to bring a organic CBD product to the community. And so that's why we opened Joy Organics almost 3 years ago.
And as y'all can see, it is an absolutely beautiful store. We'll bring you through it a little bit later, but let's go on and get over to Leslie. Leslie, we have had your number one man on quite a bit with us. We love Lee, but we are beyond excited to get to talk with the female side of what you guys do. So tell us about yourself, what got you in the industry, and about the Healthy Chicks.
Thank you. Yes, Leslie with the Healthy Chicks here. And as you just said, my man got me into this business. His business, First Responder Fuel, is geared towards first responders, which the majority of happen to be men. And as time went on and seeing his success, I'm thinking, well, gosh, all those first responders have significant others and moms and sisters and girlfriends and wives and all that good stuff. And so I thought, well, we need to feel good too while they're on duty. And so we developed, I say we, my business partner and I, Crystal, we developed a skincare line and all natural, hemp infused. We also just came out with some massage oils and lubes for Valentine's Day, and we have a coffee line as well. So it's geared towards any age group. Crystal, my partner's in her 30s, I'm in my 40s. So it's not just a day or night or 20s or 30s, anyone can use it. So that's where we are.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today, and we can't wait to talk a little more about all of that. So, Michael, let's go to you guys. So y'all have been traveling the country. Tell us a little bit about Farm to Shelf and what you guys are into.
Yeah, thank you for having us. So Farm to Shelf is a co-op that was founded over in Oregon. We're a co-op of manufacturers, hemp farmers, and industry professionals that really are dedicated to making quality craft batch products. We've created a platform for education, networking, and resourcing, and really overall growth. We even have an online marketplace where both consumers and retailers can kind of come together. And really what got me into this, or us into this really, is I'm one of the co-founders of Focus Hemp Co. out of Medford, Oregon. And through that, we were hemp extractors and white label manufacturers. And I really saw that there was a need for representation of these smaller farmer products. They're so busy growing the hemp and making sure that's of the best quality in itself. I mean, over in Oregon, you're now part of that Emerald Triangle. You can grow indoor quality hemp outdoors. It's all really good diversity in the soil. It's just really good product overall. So we started this co-op, and now we're trying to bring that love coast to coast. We've spent some time in California, some time in Colorado. Now we're here in Austin, and we're growing the team, and even have Caitlin joining us now. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
so myself, I like to say that I am a cannabis and herbal enthusiast, if you will. I have been battling endometriosis for over 13 years now. So having CBD products for myself and the growth of the opportunity to educate, other consumers like myself, having this platform of farms that we vet, and confirm that where their quality of their hemp is coming from. All of our products have lab testing associated with them. So you can pull it up and see what you're consuming, the importance of your own individual consumption. Just the education is needed. And then also, number one is just being able to provide affordable products for people to have the herbal wellness and the breaking down at the fingertips. It just needs to be more accessible, and just jumping on and getting this type of community has just always been in the back of our minds. So we're just super excited. And of course, joining you guys and collaborating with you, just the options are endless.
I love that. Well, we definitely had great synergy when we met up on the Zooms, and we're going to meet up in person, which I'm so stoked about a little later today, but definitely on the same mission, the same path to really provide verified, amazing products for the consumer. And I think everybody on this call feels the same way, Danielle, Leslie. So it's really awesome to get to all be together in this format. And on that note, someone who knows a lot about brands, products from all around the country, Nicole, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about your journey in the hemp industry and what you have going on at USA Cbd Expo.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much. It's so nice to be here. So I'm Nicole Biner. I'm the marketing director for USA Cbd Expo. We are the nation's largest CBD and hemp event. We're so excited to finally be returning to live events. It's been quite the journey. We're actually going a year and a half without hosting a show. So we're just very fortunate to be in business still. Our last show was in Vegas, Valentine's Day weekend, over a year ago. And then we went to Medellin, Colombia, but we can't wait. We didn't stop. The industry needs to keep moving forward. And that's really what our events are about. They're both B2B and B2C. We typically have about 300 vendors there. We're having speakers. Leah's going to be there. We're so excited to show us a virtual tour of the hemp farm and to talk about that. It's so important that everybody is a part of the show, because when everybody comes together, stuff finally gets done. There's nothing worse than having emails go back and forth and Zooms all day. Like, you're actually going to really get some business done. We open it up to everybody because the consumers need the education. The consumers are driving this right now. While the buyers will be there, and the local retailers and the big buyers of those stores, but everybody needs to come together to just get rid of the misinformation and learn what's out there, what's happening with CBG, what's happening with Delta 8, where does that fall? So our show is going to feature all of that. We also partner with the American Kratom Association, because all this is falling under this natural products umbrella, these alternative products. So we're super pumped. Our next show will be in Atlanta, June 11th to the 13th at the Georgia World Congress Center. And we're welcoming everybody to take the trip. Hopefully everybody's vaccinated by then. I always ask, I'm like, well, what else are you doing that weekend? What else do you guys have planned? What are we doing? So we're very excited to get everybody in one room finally and get together.
I love that. Well, we are beyond stoked to come out and speak and just walk around and be in person and get to meet up with you in person as well. So are you guys still accepting speaker submissions, and are you still selling booths for the show, or how's that going? Is that available for some of the people on the call or maybe watching?
Of course. So we are 80% sold out on booth space. We're anticipating a wait list come probably the end of March in a couple of weeks. So if you are interested in booth space for Atlanta, definitely give us a call sooner rather than later. It's a great feeling for us to be like, we held out, we stayed strong, and that people are interested. As far as speakers go, we do have a bit of a wait list going because the show got postponed 6 times. So for those of you in marketing, all my graphic designers, everybody that had to redo that so many times, thank you. But we appreciate everybody staying with us through this. So yes, if you'd like to speak at our show, submit the application. If we can't get you in for Atlanta, we also have a show in Medellin, Colombia. That will be August 28th to the 29th, and Chicago. It'll be really fun Halloween weekend, so you can get dressed up with us there. And that'll be October 28th to the 30th. So we're always looking for speakers across everything. We do have a women in cannabis panel, a retailer panel, sports medicine. We're always looking for new people, and especially to talk about these new topics that are coming out. So please submit the application. Definitely love to hear from you.
I love it. Thank you so much, Nicole. Well, maybe we can start with you and then work backwards on what are some of the trends that you see. You're in New York, you're working the show in Atlanta, you're definitely doing work even in Colombia. What is the biggest trend that you're seeing happening right now, positive or negative, inside the hemp industry?
I would say that some of the trends are that people are really asking about what else is happening outside of CBD, like that Delta 8. We're having just so much overwhelming questions about what is happening with Delta 8 and where does it fall. So we have some people talking about it. One of our platinum sponsors is actually featuring Delta 8 quite a bit, but I think a lot of it also has to come with just basic education and what is going on in the CBD industry. Being in New York, a lot of stuff has been popping off recently in legislation. So we're happy about it. I think everybody wants to know what's going to happen legally. You know, where is CBD going and the hemp industry, and what does it look like going forward? And that's what we're going to have some experts talking about at our show. So I think that's one of the biggest trends. The biggest question is 2021 the year. Is it happening? We're finally going to get the direction that we need.
Yeah, definitely. Especially here in Texas, our legislature only meets every 2 years. So it's always a little slower for us to get things done. So there's some interesting things in right now. And of course, we're waiting on a big ruling on Monday here on the smokable hemp ban, if that's going to be upheld or overturned. Looking good for maybe it'll be overturned, but we'll see what happens. So a lot of exciting things in Texas happening. But Michael and Caitlin, how about you guys? You've been in Oregon, you spent some time in California, you're here in Austin now, you're going to Florida. What are some trends that you guys have seen, or what are you excited about this year?
Yeah, so to definitely repeat again on that Delta 8 hype, it's absolutely amazing what's going in. I mean, I walk into a store and before I can even mention the word CBD, someone's like, "Do you have Delta 8?" And you know, for over in Oregon, we were kind of blindsided by it. I would say over the past few years, especially the farmers, they kind of switched over to converting parts of their land to growing CBG. We're looking at some of these other strains and really trying to focus on bringing in some of those other minor cannabinoids. And we've almost been spending the past few years making these great herbal products and really focusing on, you know, having some of the great hemp. And now it seems the rest of the market is really wanting this Delta 8, to where some of the farms are actually having to stop what they're doing to make products just to kind of fulfill what the market is wanting, but without giving up on that mission of making those great quality products. And so now you have extractors trying to find, is there a clean, effective way to really make this product so that way there's no bad residuals at the end. So I think we still have a lot to learn. And it is interesting how each state handles it differently. So, you know, Oregon seems to very much say, hey, the Delta 8's it's a fad. You know, let's stick with our true quality CBD. You get down to California and they're all about it. They're just all about it. And then you get to Colorado where it's illegal, or it's banned. So you can't really find Delta 8, you know, so it's, then you come down here to Austin where there's Delta 8 stores. So it's really kind of all over the place.
And what we see too is that a lot of the people are wanting an alternative to drinking alcohol. They like the buzz that a Delta 8 will give them, and they are buzzing responsibly.
Yeah, there's definitely a place for it. That's for sure. And I'm not saying that, but it's wild how each state is kind of approaching it differently.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's an interesting trend here. You know, my take on it is that people want to do things legally because you think like there's a huge black market in Texas. Why is Delta 8 the big thing? But they do want to be legally compliant, which I think says a lot for Texans in our community. But it's interesting the direction that it's going to go, no doubt.
I think it's because Texas has been through so much in regards to hemp that it's like, let's try to do the best we can with what we have.
Yeah, no doubt. And we have so many hurdles to full legalization here with our limited medical program and some of the other issues like that going on.
Exactly.
Now, Leslie, what has you excited? I know Lee's going to be speaking at an expo, some expos in Texas. Do you have any speaking gigs on the horizon? What's got you excited this year?
Not yet. And since we are so new to the industry with our skincare, we're just excited to attend all 5 of the Lucky Leaf expos that are coming up. So first timer, brand spanking new, ready to get out of there, out of here, out of the house. Since Texas is finally opening up, this will be our first time, our first expos and events, and we're super excited to be able to educate people on our product and, you know, why choose natural products over the chemicals that are sold in the store, and just try to help them understand.
I love that. And you guys lead the way on broad spectrum, no THC in the products for the most part, because you are dealing with first responders and individuals who get drug tested. So I think that's a very interesting dynamic. Of course, full spectrum is amazing, full plant medicine, but you guys doing broad spectrum, and Danielle, you as well doing broad spectrum.
Yeah.
Do you see that appeal to your clients, like that really appeals to them to not have the THC in there?
For sure. I mean, we started Joy Organics with broad spectrum. So that's been our longest standing product for 2 years. And we just 3 months ago came out with a full spectrum product, but that's only because we had enough people asking for that kind of full plant extract. But yeah, I mean, we still have people that are very loyal to the broad spectrum, whether they're young children or old elderly or people that do get regularly drug tested. You know, there's still that very large market. So I think it's very necessary.
Yeah, it's interesting. I even was hearing yesterday, we were over at Jeremy Green's farm about 15 minutes outside of Austin. He's got a really cool little small grow. And he was talking about CBG for pets because, of course, for dogs, there is a concern there with THC in the product that, you know, they don't respond very well.
Right.
And I know one of our favorite treats is from you, Danielle, here at Joy Organics.
Yay.
That we give all of our pets and especially our dogs.
Yeah.
And yeah, Alba. Cynthia had a old lab that, man, she was in so much pain and it did extend her life.
And she actually was able to walk up and down the steps, you know, because she couldn't even walk that well. And then the CBD helped her until she was old enough to pass away. But it was a great thing for Alba.
16. Yeah, she was 16. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, yeah, I love the fact that we've covered all the bases here from broad spectrum, Delta 8, full spectrum, and that there's a place for all of that. Now, Michael and Caitlin, do you guys carry all those products as well? Or is there one particular product that stands out for you guys that you carry?
No, so we carry all of it. I would say that, like Mike had mentioned, Delta 8 is just a driving force right now. So we're trying to diversify the options for that as smokables, edibles, you know, different types of gummies. We have CBG, CBN. We have a lot of our products that are herbal based. So if you remove, you know, any of the cannabinoids out of them, there's some of them that are just overall herbal wellness within themselves. So just trying to, you know, have options for everyone and for all different types, like I mentioned, you know, from your regular, you can't, no, you can't touch it. Sorry. He was trying to touch the screen.
Right, like the flip thing.
So we started a shop with a purpose section. So anybody trying to figure out what works for them, you know, conquering your day, you know, dreams will be more focused on the CBN products. So just trying to have a really diversified portfolio for people to choose from.
And you're a vertically integrated company then.
So as a co-op, we're really just trying to build a relationship and a platform for everyone to come together. So these are farms that we've worked with, and they, like I said, they don't have the sales force. They don't have the boots on the ground. So we're trying to go, as we go across the US, expand our team, even trying to find other farms, not just in Oregon. So for instance, there is a veteran-owned brand, Sleepy Bear out of California, had some issues with PTSD. So he created a melatonin CBN gummy. So as long as they're looking for that craft batch and they have that vision, and they're looking to grow and they're transparent and they got their test results, you know, we're open to help educating everyone.
That's excellent. And so you guys do the extraction and then white labeling. And also,
so that was with Focus. That's where I came from. So Focus Hemp Co. I'm no longer with them. I've left the company to start Farm to Shelf. But yeah, they did extraction. We had our own consumer good line, and then also did white labeling. And I still do work with them.
yeah, that's good. But you're out here boots on the ground to help to get the adoption curve sped up.
Yeah.
So we're in the same boat.
100%. There's a lot of synergies of what we're doing, and I'm really excited to see how Texas operates and how we can kind of compare it to like how the West Coast kind of operates, because we're going to learn from each other. I'll tell you, this is very much, I've always been on the make side of things. And now that I'm out in the market, what I thought people wanted is not exactly what we were making. So it's really interesting seeing how the curve goes.
Discover forward.
Exactly, right?
Always. Yeah, that's so interesting. Cycling back through, I think a big question that I hear or I get a lot is, there's such a gap between what consumers know about cannabis and then the industry lingo that we all have, and then sort of the legacy market lingo that's out there as well. And there's this just big contrast. So when you look at consumers, and all of y'all have been traveling around the country as well, what do you think you see is the number one misconception consumers have about hemp products or cannabis products? Or I guess I'll go first. Hemp and cannabis being the same thing or not the same thing, right, is a big one. But do you guys see any other things that, or what's some of the questions that you get from consumers? Maybe we can start with you, Leslie.
Well, everyone assumes they're going to get high. And so we have to promise them they're not going to get high from using our face cream or our body lotion or anything like that. So like I said before, it's just educating. And, basically they come back to us saying, how can you prove to me I'm not going to pop pot? And well, we have lab results, we have QR codes, we have third-party testing. You can go down to St. David's and we'll pay for that if that's what it takes. It's not possible with our products. So
yeah, very interesting. That's a good one. Danielle, how about you? Is that?
I was about to say what Leslie said. Yeah. I mean, that's even the topicals, like she was saying, people ask, is it gonna get into their system and are they gonna get high? Or, and I feel like we don't get those questions as often now that we've been around a little bit longer. I do find people are a little more educated. But even still, we still get kind of the basic, are you going to get high, or can they pass a drug test, which it depends. I mean, depending if the drug test they're taking is a cannabis related blood test or drug test. I mean, broad spectrum could still come through depending how detailed the drug test is, but a topical, that's not going to come through. So yeah, I have
a good idea that you guys can share with people when they feel that way. You can tell them, did you know that Coca-Cola still has cocaine in it? Now it's non-active, but they still use coke. They still use
by his face.
Yeah.
So, but it's true. Coca-Cola's recipe still has cocaine in it, but it's non-active.
Cocoa leaves, right?
But it doesn't. Either way, it's an extraction.
It's like potato.
Right, exactly.
The point is, it's the same kind of principle, is that the hemp plant, we have high THC hemp or we have low THC hemp, but it's all cannabis meaning a common hemp. And so, but you can use the illustration that Coca-Cola still is using coca leaves in their product, but you're not worried that you're going to be like, well, the sugar will do that to you, the sugar buzz, right? But you know what I'm saying. But it's an idea that can help people to understand.
I think I'm just going to get a recording of him just to have in the background. Hey guys, this is what you need to hear today.
Yeah. Yes, the screen in the store with Captain Cannabis on repeat.
I have to grow the beard back though for that video.
Yeah, I love it. And Nicole, how about you? You see a lot at these different shows around the country. What are some of the questions that consumers have that you've seen?
There's quite a few. I think one of them is also just like the milligram dosage. Like I have this ailment, what works for me? Like if I have a bad shoulder, am I taking a tincture or am I doing a topical? That makes, more sense. So it's the use of product and what works best. I think that there still is a lot of confusion on like what is full spectrum versus broad spectrum. Again, what works best for me. and then how the heck to read a label. Like it's getting better, but I still think that a lot of consumer education, that's also the biggest thing, is that consumers need to be educated on this while this product is out there, and really what's right for them, how to use it, what am I looking at, is definitely some of the top questions we get.
Yeah, those are all really good ones.
I can't tell you the answer to that because the FDA won't allow me to, right?
That's the other side of it too, is
True.
that we need the trickle down here to get and be able to say that as well. But this guidance, there's recommendations that people make. And then some of it is somewhat intuitive. Like, I mean, I know I went snowboarding, my knees were on fire, and then I used a topical right on my knees. And I was like, okay, it worked. So it all depends on what your issue is, and then to try.
Yeah, and everybody's endocannabinoid system's so different. I was listening to an interesting conversation yesterday on Clubhouse about advertising with the effect. Like, this is the calm tincture, and how there's really two different thought processes on this, because not necessarily is it going to make them calm, although probably placebo effect, it will. So, what level, how do you market around that? It's always interesting questions. Caitlin and Michael, how about you guys? What do you see consumers being misinformed on, or the big questions they have?
So really the two that I see Nicole hit right on the head. The first one's going to be knowing your dose and how much do I take and why do I take it? And I think that's with us not being able to make medical claims. One campaign we're really trying to push is know your dose. So even if you don't know, you should know every day how much of CBD you're taking. And if I ask you, you shouldn't say, oh, I take 900 milligrams. That's the bottle you're taking, but you should know in each dose how much is there, and starting slow and low and working up, because everyone is different, right? So really finding out what your true dose is. Especially when you go into other products where there's other herbal additions, like you're really getting down to the specific person. It's hard to say one's going to work for everything. And, even us, we try to do a shop with a purpose. So if someone wants something for sleep, for instance, we've created a dreams category to help kind of narrow it down. But calm versus go to sleep, like you said, it can be kind of intertwined. The other big thing that I really see, the big difference is full spectrum versus broad spectrum, because there's still believers that a full spectrum has to include terpenes and cannot be adulterated at that point. And now you have full spectrum distillate coming into play where terpenes have been added in afterwards. And technically I understand that it's correct, but now you've really confused the consumer, because within a matter of a few years, you've changed what that term means. So I actually like looking for products that will actually list out the milligram of each cannabinoid on their products. I mean, it's additional testing, it's additional cost, but if you have a farm going that extra level, at least in every per batch what you're taking.
You're removing the guesswork at that point.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think reading the lab reports is a big one too, that they really struggle with. Like, at least I feel like did enough education that they know to look for the QR code.
Right.
Yeah.
But then that's kind of it. Like, okay, it's got a QR code. We're good,
And then they don't know how to read the lab results.
Reading the lab results. And the lab results are complicated. Let's admit, not all. I like it when the lab breaks it down by the bottle. Like, okay, this is a 900 milligram bottle per milligram. This is, or per dose, even better. This is in one, whatever serving, exactly what you're getting. But we're still not seeing a lot of labs do that.
No, it's true.
What other products do you do this for?
Oh, absolutely. Cynthia said, it's new to consumers. What other products do we do that for? We're not like, oh, let me look at this Advil and scan the QR code and make sure and see the lab.
C or all the herbs. No, it's true.
Exactly. And I guess I would argue that maybe there should be a QR code on all supplements, to some kind of lab report. So,
well, what's interesting is when the pharmaceutical companies that do extractions moved into the space, and they moved to Texas, we spoke with several that totally came from the pharmaceutical industry, but they said, what in the world, why do you guys want a COA? Well, I mean, we in the pharmaceutical industry, we only test our own. We don't send it out for third tests, and we said, well, because there's THC in this product. And that's the reason why we don't want to trust someone to say, oh yeah, no, it's fine. You have to have results, especially if you are a first responder.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, and an interesting point and a good point with just the differences in the such vast differences in the cannabis industry that we're in here. Well, we're going to look at some questions if we have any. And I also want to shout out to Cannabiziac. If you guys don't know about Cannabiziac, they're a really awesome group out of Florida. They are a virtual co-working space for the cannabis industry. We've been members for since they started about 6-8 months now. And every month they have so many cool initiatives. They send you a book. It's a book club, and then they all meet up on Zoom. Really cool. So last month I got Hemp Can Change the World, the cookbook by Shadi Rami, and a really cool little bookmarker. And then in December, I got the Black Tuna Diaries, which is about smuggler Robert Platshorn and his journey. I have to admit that I haven't cracked these yet, but I'm going to. I'm like, you would think being locked up for a year, I would have read so much more. Danielle, did you read between the snowstorm and...
I have a poetry book I've read.
Okay, good. At least I'm not the only one here, but I do plan. I'm really excited. I'm going to get through these. But the cool thing is you can meet up once a month and get to Q&A the authors of these books. So go check out Cannabiziac. If you're not a member and you're in the industry, I highly recommend it. Cheryl Murray Powell, one of my favorite people in the whole cannabis world, is on their board of directors. And she's the way that I found it. And I just love everybody over there. So let's see what questions we have here. We've got, love this info. Hi, y'all. We see what you did there, Brandy, and we love it. Are you familiar with the Unoa gals in Atlanta? Lauren asked. Nicole, do you know the Unoa girls?
Yes, I love them. They're actually Brandy and Danielle will be speaking on our Women in Cannabis panel. So I love it. I actually did a podcast. We still have to launch it, but with Danielle, she's so smart. So they will be at our show, definitely.
I love it. That's awesome. Making connects all over the place.
Yeah, no.
And let's see. Oscar says urine test's main flaw is that a person can use. Now, see, we're back to cocaine. Thanks, Daniel. Can use cocaine and be more likely to test negative due to how quickly it leaves the body, as opposed to cannabis and hemp, which stays in your body longer. Great point.
Absolutely.
It's kind of funny how that works.
And don't forget, though, the reason why we can discuss this is because Oregon has passed some laws because they don't want their people to get products that are tainted or made in a basement or a garage or whatever. So they're going to make products that are safe and let the adult American free person make their own choices of what they want to use medicinally or recreational, whatever, So it's like it's a choice of freedom. This plant obviously did have the capacity of making someone feel a buzz. I know we always say high, but I like to compare this buzz to sugar, to chamomile tea, to coffee, jitters, So, I mean, these are all buzzes. The high is a buzz. And so let's let the adults make the decisions and let's get away from this fear tactics from our great grandparents that made these laws in the beginning.
I love it. Definitely. Change is going to come. And Lauren seconded you on the sugar reactions in the brain and MRI scans. Very interesting comment.
The most dangerous drug on the planet, sugar.
Arguably, absolutely. And Cesar says, interesting on the panels. How does one get tickets to USA Cbd Expo? Nicole, how do they get tickets for that?
So very simply, you can visit our website, usacbdexpo.com/tickets. We have tickets available for all of our shows. So if you're eager to book some flights and you want to get out, you're more than welcome to, but we're really excited. Our ticketing, we really don't try to monetize the door. We always have discount codes coming out. General admission is $20. It's a 2-day pass. And then our buyer pass is actually complimentary. So if you're a local retailer looking to buy, purchase wholesale, just show us your proof of business and you'll be registered for a complimentary pass. Industry buyer is 100. That gives you access to, industry professional is 100. It's a 3-day pass, but it gives you access to all the B2B items there. So if you're looking to network, and we'll also be having a job recruitment this time. We're really excited about this. COVID has changed the mentality quite a bit. I come from a very professional background. corporate. You're not allowed to say the MJ word at all. Like, so now I feel like more people that have unfortunately lost their jobs due to COVID, we want to give them an opportunity. Come into the industry. Come, bring your talent. We want to bring this industry forward. It's not going to blemish your resume. It's not going to do anything. If anything, you're going to have more opportunity. I'm so lucky where I am. I'm able to grow my team, and there's no cog in the wheel or anything like that. I think we all feel like we love our jobs in this industry. I love meeting people in this industry. So that's a new addition to the show as well. We want to get people back on their feet.
That's amazing. I love that, Nicole. And you also have a podcast going, right, Nicole? I think we recorded a little episode. Where can people find that podcast?
So it will be launched in the next couple of weeks. We're working out the kinks on the website side of things, but Leah will be on it. She and I recorded one. Very excited. And we're always looking for people that want to share their expertise. So we'll definitely open to people who want to be on that. And yeah, we're really excited to launch that. So thank you for being on it.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, guys, it's just about time to wrap things up. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I want to go around the horn and let everyone give a shout out on how people can get in touch with you, and also anything exciting that you might have coming up that you want to drop. Really, you just get a few minutes to say anything you want. So Danielle, we'll start with you. How can any subject you want?
I don't have anything specific, but you can find me at joyorganicsAustin.com. And we're really pushing delivery right now. And we just started selling Delta 8 products. So that's why we have the age thing on there, which I was a little hesitant for, but I'm trying to be extra safe, just like a lot of Texans, like I was saying. But we're really pushing the delivery, like I said, with a lot of people working from home. Like Leah said, she hasn't left in a year, poor thing. We all have some compassion for her, but like her, we could bring her CBD. So anybody in Austin, we do it within a 10-mile radius of the store. We offer free delivery. So that's a big thing that we're really pushing. Like I said, we also are on Instagram, Joy Organics Austin there. And we post a lot of inspirational stuff, health related, not just CBD, but just healthy mindset, living just an overall healthy lifestyle. So that's
I love that. And y'all, you probably noticed how interesting that the first time Mary J has ever wholesaled.
I know.
And you can find wholesale
She's on
Mary.
my homepage. Did you see that?
I saw it. We love collaborations, and you guys are two of our favorite people in the whole world. So I love the fact that matched up.
Yeah.
And we always talk about just how diverse our retail shops are here in Austin. We have different targets, and everyone does so well, but we love to collab together. So incredible. I love that. Okay, Leslie, we're over to you. Leslie, tell us where people can find the Healthy Chicks and anything else you want to talk about.
All right. Well, it's thehealthychicks.com. And it's CHICS, no K. And we're also on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Try to diversify our advertising. And we have some new products coming out just in time for Mother's Day, but I'm gonna have to keep that a secret. But basically every quarter we try to release a new product. We have some new coffee flavors coming out, so those will be yummy. Other than that, maybe we'll see you guys at Lucky Leaf.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. Tell Lee thanks for taking the day off so that we could get to hang out with you instead. We still love him, but this was great to have you on for sure. Michael, what do you say? Is he sitting there? Is he looking over your shoulder like, well, Michael and Caitlin are on together?
I told him, don't look at me.
I love it. Michael and Caitlin, tell us where people can find you, how they can connect, and anything else you want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can check out our website at Farm to Shelf. So farm is with a PH and number 2, farmtoshelf.com. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and we're looking, anybody looking for education. Again, we're just trying to build a community of resources. So if you reach out with any questions, email, text, whatever works for you. If we don't know it, we will learn together and find the resources so that we can continue educating everyone.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Awesome. And we're going to finish up with Nicole. Nicole, we've hit on it a couple times, but where can people find out more about you and USA CBD Expo?
Definitely. So if you're looking to apply to speak, we just go right to the Become a tab. Then it has Become a Media Partner, Become a Speaker, Become an Exhibitor, whatever you like. Or if you want to email us directly and you have any questions for me, you can email me at media, MEDIA, at usacbdexpo.com. Definitely want to get your booth space in now if you are looking, especially for Atlanta. It's going to be a huge show. We're really, really excited about it. Some of these other shows, and honestly, there's no bad blood here. We want every show to do well. Like, we just want everybody to be happy, because all these shows at the end of the day are good for the industry, and that's all that really matters. So we're happy to have everybody at our show and see what happens. So yeah, if you want to become an exhibitor, click on that link that you just did there, and tickets are available. And for all of our shows. So yeah, get your flight plans in order, because I'm ready for going to travel out of Long Island here.
I'm with you. And I agree. I think all the shows are great, but the ones that are very well executed do the most good. And you guys always have an extremely well organized, well executed, and great speaker lineup. So we thank you, everything you guys are doing at USA CBD Expo. Can't wait to be a part. Lucky Leaf is definitely awesome here in Texas as well, like Leslie mentioned. You guys have been an incredible panel today. Had so much fun with you. And thank you, Captain Cannabis, as always, for keeping things lively. And we will be on Instagram here in a few minutes, giving you a behind-the-scenes look at Joy Organics Austin. But other than that, join us next week right here. Actually, so next week, guys, we are not going to be live, right, Cynthia? Or are we live on Wednesday?
Yeah, we're gonna be live Wednesday.
We're live on Wednesday because I will be on a plane to Colorado, to NOCO.
With you, I will be too.
Shout out to us. We're leaving the state. We're doing it, y'all. So next week we'll be here live on Wednesday at 1 p.m. You guys on the podcast will get it at the same time on Friday. So peace out, everyone. Thank you so much and have a great week.
Thank you for having
Bye,
us.
all.
Thank you.
See y'all. Stay happy, my friends.
Bye.